What's up, y'all? What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? Man, get up in here, y'all. Let's talk, man. We got a lot to discuss on tonight. We got a whole lot to discuss. Man, how's everyone doing? We have a lot to discuss on tonight. Yesterday, I posted on my YouTube that I was going to come on here tonight and talk about Mike Vrabel, our head coach, getting fired. But not only will I be talking about that, but I also will be talking about Pete Carroll getting pushed out by the Seattle Seahawks and Nick Saban announced his retirement, y'all. Today's been a crazy day. And so we have a lot to discuss, man. A whole lot to discuss. What a crazy 48 hours this has been, y'all. Wow. So much breaking news has happened the last couple of days. And yeah, man, we have to talk about it. How's everyone doing on tonight? What's up, Facebook? What's up, Twitch? And obviously, what's up, YouTube? Man, we got a lot to discuss, y'all. A whole lot. What is up with everybody? So I was the first, as y'all see. I'm getting a phone call. But y'all, the first order of business tonight is to talk about my favorite team, my favorite NFL team, the Tennessee Titans. On yesterday, y'all, our owner, Miss Amy Adam Strunk, decided to fire head coach Mike Vrabel after 6 seasons as the Tennessee Titans head coach. And y'all, this was a decision that was made by her, okay? Let's just get that out of the way with. This was not a Rand Carthon decision. This was not anybody else that's a part of Titans management, that's a part of Titans leadership. This was a Miss Amy decision, okay? So let's just get that out of the way with first, y'all. This was a Miss Amy decision. Now, this decision has been met with a lot of criticism. This decision has been met with a lot of confusion. This decision, y'all, has had a lot of people saying, what in the world is going on in Nashville, Tennessee? And for all those people that have those questions, they're valid. But I want to inform you on some things. This franchise has not won a playoff game since January of 2020. It's been 4 years ago, okay? This was a franchise that the last 2 years has lost a combined 21 games. This was a franchise. This is a franchise that in its last 24 games is 6-18. This is a franchise that has not scored 30 or more points in a game since January of 2022 when we played against the Houston Texans, the last game of that season. And so when I see all these people, y'all, that are so upset, how could she do this? How could we do this to Mike? He's a really good coach. We won a lot of games under him. We went to the AFC Championship game. How dare you get rid of a coach like this? Mike is a good coach, y'all. There's no denying that. He's a good coach. He's a player's coach, too, because the players have a ton of respect for him. He gets the most out of his players. He's a great leader. But let's not sit up here and act like that Mike is some Mike Tomlin. He's Bill Belichick. He's a coach that has amassed a lot of success when he really hasn't, y'all. Not recently, at least. And one thing as Shannon Sharp always says, you have to update your resume. And when you look at Mike's resume, y'all, it's very outdated. Very, very, very outdated. This is a head coach that, like I just said a few minutes ago, y'all, we have not won a playoff game in 4 years. When everyone always talks about that season. Y'all, it's been 4 years ago. 4 freaking years ago. 4 years. You talk about yesterday, right? Miss Amy came out and said, and I'm not quoting her verbatim right here, but she basically said something along the lines of she felt like it was time to have a fresh, innovative voice at head coach and along this entire coaching staff. And y'all, between the lines, what she's basically saying is Mike and his coaching staff, their schemes, their plans, their ideas are very outdated. And that she's ready to play and she's ready for the Titans to be a modern NFL team. What really ticked me off about Mike as a head coach is that he always said, got to get our run game going to be able to pass the ball and all this stuff. Got to get our run game going to be able to play action. He always talked about wide receivers needing to block, which, don't get me wrong, it's important, right? Like, yes, it is nice for your receivers to be able to run block, but he overemphasized run blocking from his wide receivers, which messed us up because there are a couple of names that I can think of off the top of my head that should have been Tennessee Titans, been productive players for us, but they end up not being productive players for us. And those two guys I'm referring to, y'all, is wide receiver Josh Reynolds, wide receiver Khalif Raymond. Both of those guys happen to be Detroit Lions now. They're going to be playing in the playoffs this weekend. Josh Reynolds came in, y'all, when we signed him March of 2021. He was supposed to be, at that point, he was supposed to be the number 2 wide receiver to A.J. Brown. Then when we traded for Julio that summer, he's supposed to be the number 3. And we were like, man, we got A.J., we got Julio, and we got Josh. Well, Josh Reynolds was just coming off a season where when he was with the Los Angeles Rams, he had 52 catches for 618 yards, which is, that's pretty solid numbers for a number 3 wide receiver, which he was with the Rams. We was like, okay, yeah, that's a really good number 3 wide receiver. Josh Reynolds barely played, y'all. I think he ended up having, 10 catches for 90 yards for us? And now you look at the Lions, he's going on to be a solid, number 3 receiver. He didn't play. Why, y'all? Oh, because they needed receivers that could impact the team, quote unquote, on special teams. And I remember when our wide receivers coach, Rob Moore, came out and said that. He said that's why Josh Reynolds was not playing, because he couldn't offer any value to the special teams unit. And I'm like, wow. So you will not play a talented wide receiver just because he cannot contribute to special teams, when quite honestly with y'all, our special teams unit under Mike was never really that good. But you're willing to not play a wide receiver who can make plays for your offense, all because he can't contribute to special teams? Really? What kind of logic is that? I've never heard of a coach say that I'm not going to play a wide receiver because he can't contribute, especially a guy, y'all, like Josh Reynolds, who had the talent, who could have helped us out. But instead, we out there playing clowns like Chester Rogers, Marcus Johnson. Really? You look at Khalif Raymond. Khalif Raymond, man, was a deep threat for us. And that's all he was. But, hey, that's what this team needed. And he was very good at his role. This man couldn't even play anymore for us. Wow, because he's not a good blocker. Yeah, he's not a good blocker. But he brings something to the team that no one else on the team could bring, y'all, which was speed, which is a deep threat at wide receiver. Come on now. That's the stuff right there that Amy is talking about. That's just an example, y'all. Because I don't have time to go through everything. But that's just showing y'all an example right there of Mike and this coaching staff just being so old school, man. Being so archaic. Made absolutely 0 sense. 0 sense. So when I see people, particularly on Twitter, man, when I seen some of these people on Twitter getting, all bent out of shape, all upset because we fired Mike, talking about how dare you do this. Y'all, the facts are the facts. We haven't won a playoff game in 4 years. Okay, and let's get into it. As y'all see, I made this really nice spreadsheet, whatever the heck you want to call it. I made this, and I really want us to look at the last two things on here. 3 seasons, the offense ranked 27th or lower. Wanted to play old school style of football to win games. Never adjusted to the modern NFL. That is the reason Mike Vrabel got fired. And if y'all read what Miss Amy put out yesterday, the statement that she put out yesterday, you can tell she's ready for this organization, for this team, for this franchise to become more modern. Y'all realize until last year, we didn't even use analytics because John Robinson felt, well, I am analytics. Dude, are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me, man? Like, seriously. John Robinson felt like, well, I am the analytics. No, you're not. When we brought in Rand Carthon last year, what did he do, y'all? He goes out and hires assistant general manager Chad Brinker, formerly of the Green Bay Packers. Man, Chad Brinker is known across the NFL as an analytic guru. Like, he is the guy. He uses analytics to scout players. He uses analytics to determine, hey, should we sign this guy? Should we draft this guy? Should we not sign him? Should we not draft him? He gets into the cognitive testing that they do during the entire draft process. That's something that before we never did, which definitely hurt us on some of the draft picks. You look at some of the draft picks John Robinson made, y'all. Had he actually used analytics to scout these players, maybe we don't draft a Isaiah Wilson. Maybe we don't draft a Dez Fitzpatrick. Maybe we don't draft a Monty Rice. But instead, no, he felt like he was the analytics. He felt like he knew so much when he didn't. And when I look at Mike Vrabel, him and John Robinson, man, y'all know they came from the same tree. And that tree is called the Patriot Way. Y'all know John Robinson, former executive, Patriots, worked in that organization for many years. Mike Vrabel, former player for the Patriots. They know that organization very well. They know Bill Belichick very well. They saw the success that Bill Belichick had. And when they got hired, John Robinson, when he got hired as Titans GM, Mike, when he got hired as Titans head coach, they thought that was the only way to win games is because of what Bill Belichick did to win games in New England. And the thing is, that's just not the case because y'all got to remember, Bill Belichick's been with the Patriots, since 2000? That's a long time ago. Stuff that worked in 2000 and 2001, 2002, 3, and so forth and so on, not going to work now. Okay, back then, they didn't have analytics. They didn't have a cognitive testing. They didn't have all this stuff that we have now. They didn't have all the data and information that we have now, y'all, at our disposal. They didn't have that. Right? We have access to that now because of the way science has really evolved. Because of the way medicine has really evolved. But back then, they didn't have all that. And so Mike thought, well, hey, this is how my coach did it. This is how we're going to do things. And, I mean, it worked, right? I mean, it did work for a little while. Started out, his first year, 9-7. Second year, 9-7, went to the AFC Championship game. Third year, 11-5, won the AFC South, right? Lost in the wild card game against the Ravens. Fourth year, best record, tied for best record in the league, right? I mean, win 12 games, best record in the AFC, number 1 seed, win our division. Lose in the divisional round against the Bengals. The next year, 22, fifth year. Start out 7-3, lose 7 straight games, have a horrible offense. Your darn offensive coordinator after a game, instead of taking a darn Uber home, y'all, once they landed back in Tennessee, what does this dude do? He drinks and drives. Yeah. But you still, instead of firing him then, you kept him. So you lose 7 straight games, 7-10. Okay. Fire John Robinson, hire a new man at GM, go 6-11, only win one game in the division, only win one game away from Nissan Stadium. Come on, y'all. Numbers are what the numbers are. Right? Y'all see it. Y'all see it. I mean, y'all, 3 seasons, the offense ranked 27th or lower. That's just simply not good. Right? I don't care which way you slice it, y'all. That is just simply not good. That is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable, man. Miss Amy, I told y'all. One thing that I love about that woman, she is not afraid to make decisions. She's not afraid. She's not afraid of the criticism. Remember, a lot of people criticized her when we fired Mike Mularkey. But she felt that we had maxed out with him, which I agreed. I did. I was like, I think that's the best. I think that's the best we're going to do with Mike Mularkey. Okay? Bring in Mike Vrabel. Y'all, we got it as far as he's gonna take us, y'all. That's it. Like, we got the most out of Mike. That was 4 years ago. We went to the AFC Championship game. That's the first we were gonna go with him. I really believe that. I don't think we were ever gonna go back to the AFC Championship game. I don't think we ever gonna go to the Super Bowl. And for Miss Amy, that ain't what we in the business of doing, y'all. We're in this business to win and win big, right? As I always say, I'm ready for this team to become a major player. When I mean I'm ready for us to become a major player, I want us, man, year in and year out, be a Super Bowl contender. I don't care about winning 9 games, 10 games, 11 games. I don't care about winning the AFC South because we've done all that, man. Us as fans, we should be sick and tired of that same old mess. I don't care about winning no division. As Rand said last year in his opening press conference, he said that the plan is to be hosting parades in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. That's simple, y'all. That's the plan. To host parades in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. And for some of my fellow Titans fans, I want us to get to that mindset that that's what we need to do. We need to have that on our minds, y'all. Let's not lower the expectations for our team because we've done everything you can do. Win the division. Shoot, even just a couple years ago, man, we had the best record in the AFC. We've done all that stuff. But let's be honest, y'all. When have we really felt like this team was a true Super Bowl contender year in and year out? We never had that feeling. The Chiefs have it. Every year the Chiefs don't wear a Super Bowl contender. You got the GM that they have, obviously Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, head coach and quarterback combo. They're competing every year to win championships. You look at the Eagles. Even though I told y'all the Eagles was frauds and they struggling, but you look at the Eagles. Really, they the last maybe 7, 8, 9 years they haven't had too many bad seasons. I mean, I know in 2015 they didn't make the playoffs. In 2020 they didn't make the playoffs, but every other year, y'all. I mean, in 16 they didn't make the playoffs, but every other year They have basically been a Super Bowl contender, right? They won it in 18. They got to it last year. So what I'm saying is it can be done. You can have sustained success. You can come in every year feeling like you got a chance to win a championship. But the Titans fans, let's be honest, y'all, we haven't felt like that. We felt like that, I think, 1 year. I know in 21, I felt like, I was like, okay, we have a chance. That was the only year. Because in 2019, I was like, okay, we'll probably be a playoff team. I didn't think, like, no one even saw us going to the AFC Championship game. I know I didn't coming into that year. And so, y'all, you look at the last 15 years of this team, only 2 of those years that we felt like we can win the Super Bowl. 2008, 2021. That's it. Y'all, let's elevate our expectations. Elevate. Elevate. Elevate your expectations. Right? That's what I'm trying to get Titans fans to know. But you look, Mike Vrabel's tenure in Tennessee, 54-45 record, 2-3 playoff record, four winning seasons, AFC Championship game appearance, 2022 division titles, number 1 seed in 21. He also won Coach of the Year that year. 5-18 record, as y'all see, I put in the last 18 games. I meant to say 5-18 record in the last 23 games. 3 offensive coordinators, 2 defensive coordinators, 3 seasons. The offense ranked 27th or lower. One to play old school style of football to win games. Never adjusted to the modern NFL. I mean, yeah. And you talk about the last 2 offensive coordinators he had. Arthur Smith was good. Arthur Smith was a good one. But outside of Arthur Smith, it hasn't been any good one. It hasn't, It really hasn't. There's not been any good ones. And y'all probably think it was, hey, okay. Then Mike had 4 offensive coordinators. Y'all, I didn't even put Todd Downing. So that's why I said 3. I refuse to put Todd Downing as an offensive coordinator because I refuse to put Todd Downing. So obviously, we had under Mike, we had Matt LaFleur, who was god awful. We had Arthur Smith, who was really good. We had Todd Downing, who was, pitiful. And we had Tim Kelly this year. Tim Kelly, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about Tim Kelly. Was he god awful like Todd Downing? No, but it still wasn't good, right? He still wasn't a good play caller. So yeah, y'all, that's basically predicament my team is in. And we put ourselves in this hole, but this is the position we in. And appreciate everything Mike did, but it's time to move on, man. Like when I went live was it last week, and I mentioned some of the Titans players by names through these last 7-8 years that really contributed. Because from 16 to 22, we were a playoff contender. And that time is over, y'all. Time is over. And I knew that time was over once we lost to the Cincinnati Bengals that year. So, y'all, that time is over, man. That time is over. It's done. We got to come out of the past, y'all. Right? We got to come out of the past. We really do. We have to get out of the past. We do. It's just not good. It is simply not good. Again, us as fans, we should have high expectations for our team. And if our team fails to meet those expectations, then we should want change. We should expect more. And I think sometimes as fans, y'all, we think, well, we have high expectations for our team, then that's a bad thing. When it's not, because you should have high expectations for your ball club. And so I look at it and I say, well, hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. It's just we have to move on. We have to hopefully get the right head coach in here, um, and really move forward. But all things are not lost for this team. You look at we have Will Levis, a quarterback. We got a young dynamic running back, Tajay Spears. We still got a star wide receiver, veteran receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. We have a young offensive lineman, Peter Skoronsky, our first round pick from last year. We have a young tight end, Chiga Okonkwo, who as the season went on, he got better. He still needs to work on his hands a little bit more, but as the season went on, Chig improved. Defensively, we got Big Jeff Simmons in the middle. We got Arden Key, Harold Landry, solid pass rushers. They're not great, but solid pass rushers. We got Amani Hooker at safety. We got Roger McCreary, slot corner. So it's not like this team doesn't have many pieces, but we just need to add a whole lot more to it. We need better talent, and we also need better depth. But, us projected to have what's like over $75 million in salary cap space. We got 2 top 40 picks in the draft. We had a 7 pick in round 1, and we got the 38 pick in round 2. So, got a lot of ways to upgrade this roster, y'all. A lot of ways. Y'all see my phone reading. We got a lot of ways, though, to improve / upgrade this roster. And very excited about doing that because I do feel confident that Rand is going to spend his money. We will get into soon, y'all. Actually, I already got it made, but I just got to do the video. But soon, I will start my Titans free agent target series, and we will go into players that this team should consider signing, and hopefully we end up getting a few of said players. And so, yeah, hold up, y'all, 1 second. All right, y'all, I'm back. But yeah, I will be starting that soon. My Titans free agent target series. Just go over guys that the Titans should think about signing and how they would help our team to become an elite team. So, y'all, let's get into I guess you could say these are really my top 3 candidates for the Titans. So first up, we have Texas offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick. Man, y'all, the job that Bobby Slowick has done this year with rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud, wide receivers, man, Tank Dell, Nico Collins. Nico Collins darn near had 1,300 yards this year. That was basically more yardage that he had in any of his first 2 seasons, which is pretty insane. But yeah, man, Bobby Slowick is an incredible offensive play caller. I think he would give this team, I think what Amy wants, right? Amy, she just reading what she said yesterday, she wants this team to become more dynamic, more innovative, more exciting offensively. And that is something that I wholeheartedly hope that we do, because y'all, like I mentioned earlier, this team has not scored 30 points in the game in 2 years, right? 3 years with Mike as our head coach, we had the 27th or lower ranked offense, which is pathetic. which is yucky, right? We don't like that. And so I really hope that we consider Bobby Slowick. Next up, man, this, y'all, is really, really, really who I want to be the next Titans head coach. Lions offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson. Man, Ben Johnson, oh my gosh, y'all. This dude has been freaking wheeling and dealing in Detroit, man. Jared Goff was seen as a guy whose career was potentially over. In terms of being a starter, I think Jared Goff, we still thought he could be a solid backup quarterback. But a lot of people, including myself, had questions about Jared Goff as a starter in this league. Man, Ben Johnson has turned Jared Goff back into the old Jared Goff. Jared Goff looks like Los Angeles Rams Jared Goff, man. Y'all, Ben Johnson might be the third best play caller in all of football right now, behind Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. I mean, my gosh, you look at the last 2 years, y'all. The Lions have had a top 5 offense, led by Jared Goff, man, led by star receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Josh Reynolds, who I touched on earlier, former Tennessee Titans wide receiver. You got 2 backs in that backfield, man, thunder and lightning. You got your big bruising back, David Montgomery. You got your quick, speedy, shifty receiving back, but also can run that thing too, Jahmyr Gibbs. You also got a young boy out of Alabama, Jameson Williams, at wide receiver, a speedster, a deep threat. Really great offensive line led by Frank Ragnow, Penei Sewell, Jonathan Jackson. Y'all, Ben Johnson, y'all heard it here first. I really do want him to be our next head coach, seriously. Now, there's some other candidates that I like. I like Bobby Slowick. I like Brian Callahan. I'm going to get into him here in a minute. I like Antonio Pierce. I like Mike McDonald, the Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator. But Ben Johnson is my number one guy on my list. Again, let me repeat. Ben Johnson is the number one guy on my list. And y'all, we're going to get real acquainted with Ben Johnson on this channel. Got a question coming in. Who do you think the Titans will pick? It's a very good question. Well, I would say this. In my first mock draft, I had us taking offensive tackle J.C. Latham out of Alabama. Now, I don't want to give away who I have us taking in my second mock draft. I'm going to have coming out here in a few days. But I will say this. I think we could either go offensive tackle, wide receiver, or corner with our 7th overall pick. I think it's really going to come down to what Rand does on free agency. Say if we were to get, and again, I'm not going to give any names away because, you know, I got this video coming out soon too. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be starting my Titans free agent target series here soon. But say if we would get a certain wide receiver, that's from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and we brought him back to Tennessee, well, then now with our 7th overall pick, we can go and get a lineman. Or say in free agency, we go and get a lineman. Then with the 7th overall pick, we can go and get a wide receiver. So I really think it's going to depend on how we attack free agency. And if we decide we want to get a lineman in free agency, I think our first pick will be a wide receiver. We decide we want to get a big name wide receiver in free agency, then our first pick will probably be offensive tackle. We also go corners. There's a couple corners, as I'm going to keep doing my scouting reports, there's a couple corners, man, out of Alabama that I really like. And also a corner out of Clemson that I really like. And so there's a lot of ways the Titans could go, but I would say it's really going to depend on free agency as to who we pick at 7th. It's going to depend on what we do because, like I said, if we go wide receiver, get a big name wide receiver in free agency, then we really wouldn't need to take a wide receiver at 7. I still think we would need another wide receiver, but I don't know if you would take one at pick 7 when you really, really, really would have a big hole on that offensive line still. But very good question. Very good question. So I was talking about Ben Johnson. Man, I'm telling y'all, he's the guy that I want to be the Titans head coach. Let me repeat, Ben Johnson, Lions offensive coordinator, is who I want to be the next head coach of this football team. I do like some other candidates, but he is my number one guy. And then finally, of my top 3 candidates, y'all, we have Bengals offensive coordinator Brian Callahan. Obviously, we know the Bengals, how explosive they been offensively. Joe Burrow, but they also have Jamar Chase, one of the best wide receivers in the league. T. Higgins, also one of the best receivers in the league. Tyler Boyd, very underrated receiver, maybe the best slot receiver in the league. Joe Mixon at running back in the backfield. They also had Hayden Hurst at tight end for a little while. Irv Smith Jr. at tight end. And I know people are going to say, well, Brian Callahan does not call plays for the Cincinnati Bengals, but he is still heavily involved in the offensive game planning. And again, y'all, as I said earlier, Miss Amy said that she wants the offense to be more dynamic. She wants the offense to be more explosive. She wants the offense to be just better, right? And I should say, she didn't say the offense, but reading between the lines, she just said she's ready for fresh, innovative ideas. We know what she means by that, right? Because we know the way Mike Vrabel coached football. He was not innovative. He was not dynamic. Hit none of that, right? So we know what she's talking about. She didn't come out and say, "Oh, I want the offense to be more dynamic," but we know what she means. When she says that, we know exactly what the heck she is talking about when she says she wants the offense to be more dynamic. She wants the offense to be more explosive. We know what she's talking about. Brian Callahan, man, again, yes, I know he does not call plays for the Cincinnati Bengals. That is head coach Zach Taylor. But he's a very, very, very good play caller. And, yeah, man, y'all, we need to have a lot of interest in these 3 guys. But, again, I repeat, before I move on, Ben Johnson is my number one guy. Y'all gonna hear me say that name a lot, okay? You're gonna hear me say Ben Johnson's name a whole lot. Ben Johnson is the guy I want us to hire, okay? Again, I like a lot of coaches. These are just my top 3, but I like a lot of others. You got Ravens defensive coordinator Mike McDaniel. You have Raiders interim head coach Antonio Pierce, right? But y'all, Ben Johnson is my number one guy. Mike wasn't taking us anywhere. Yeah, I mean, we maxed out with him. I feel like we maxed out with him. Like I said earlier, everyone talks about that 2019-20 season, but y'all, this been 4 years ago, man. Like, quit holding on to that. Okay, that was a magical run we were on. But even that year, coming into that year, none of us Titans fans thought we were going to the AFC Championship game. I thought we were going to the playoffs. And look how we started that year. We started out 2-4. Didn't even look like we was going to the playoffs. Then we just went on a magical run, man. Obviously, Tannehill, Henry, all that, Corey Davis, A.J. Brown. We already know that, right? But we weren't going any further with Mike as head coach, and we had to come to this decision. Y'all, again. It's never an easy decision, obviously. But we're in the business of results. And we're not in the business, y'all, of making people happy, right? That's not what we're in the business of doing. We're not trying to make people happy, y'all. That's not how it works, okay? That's not how pro sports works, okay? So I want us to look. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for y'all. Okay, let me see. So, what else to look at? It seems like I cannot get it to be any bigger right now, which is fine. So I know y'all probably can't see that. That's as big as it will get. But So I just tell y'all, so these are the coaches that the Titans have requested to interview with. So you got Brian Callahan, who I just touched on a few minutes ago, offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. You have Mike Kafka, offensive coordinator for the New York Giants. You have Ben Johnson, my number one guy, the guy that I want this team to hire. Offensive coordinator for the Lions. You have Antonio Pierce, that I touched on a few seconds ago. Las Vegas Raiders interim head coach. You have Dan Quinn, Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator. You have Aaron Glenn, Detroit Lions defensive coordinator. And you got Mike McDonald. Old McDonald had a farm. Now you got Mike McDonald, Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator. So just looking at this, I don't know why the heck we even want to talk to Mike Kafka. Not happy about that, but hey, I am happy that we're talking to that we want to talk to Ben Johnson, Brian Callahan, Antonio Pierce, and Mike McDonald. I like Aaron Glenn, but I mean, first of all, the Lions, obviously, their defense has been really bad this year, one. And then secondly, man, Aaron Glenn doesn't strike me as somebody that's really, really innovative. You know, he doesn't, you know, and I don't know if that's really the route that this team should go. Yeah, I don't know if this is the route that we should go. You know, I don't know. I really don't know. Because again, Miss Amy said she wants this team to be innovative, to basically just be brand new, right? To play modern football, y'all. That's what she wants. And so I don't know, Aaron Glenn, that's the route we should go. But I definitely wouldn't mind Mike McDonald. I wouldn't mind Antonio Pierce. But y'all, my number one target, as y'all see on your screen right now, man, I freaking want Ben Johnson on this team. If you have Ben Johnson, man, with Will Levis, Tajay Spears, D-Hop, Peter Skoronski, man, you go out and sign / draft some big-time tackles, some big-time wide receivers. This offense will be so darn explosive, man. The last 2 years, y'all, this offense has been so terrible. This team can barely score 20 points a game. Man, if we get Ben Johnson up here, and look at who we already have, y'all. As Miss Amy said yesterday, we have a promising young quarterback in Will Levis. We got a dynamic running back, Tajay Spears. We got a veteran star receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. We have a young Pro Bowl caliber left guard, Peter Skoronski. A young tight end, Chig Okonkwo. Also another young tight end that we drafted last year, Josh Wiley. The pieces are there. We just need to add more. But if you get Ben Johnson, man, y'all, this offense would be so explosive, would be so dynamic. And here's the thing. I think we would still have a pretty good defense, especially if we can go out and get a number one lockdown corner, if we can get a linebacker, and if we can get a safety. I think we have a pretty good defense. See, some people think, y'all, that if you have a offensive-minded head coach, that means your defense is going to be bad, which is not the case. It's not the case. And some people think if you have a defensive-minded head coach, that your offense is going to be bad, which is not always the case. Look at the Texans. D'Amico Ryans is a defensive head coach. And the Texans had a very good offense this year. Why? Because of his offensive coordinator on your screen right now, Bobby Slowick. Right? And so you can have the best of both worlds. The problem is if you're going to get a defensive-minded head coach, right? Here's what I would say. Here's what I would push back on. If we're going to get a defensive-minded head coach, he better be a pretty darn young guy. You look at Mike McDonald, defensive coordinator for the Ravens. He's 36 years old. I think even though he's a defensive-minded guy, I think if he brought in the right offensive coordinator, then we could still have a pretty good offense. Same thing with Antonio Pierce. Right? Antonio Pierce only 45 years old. Y'all saw what he did with the Raiders this year. You talking about he did this with freaking Aiden O'Connell and Jimmy G as his quarterback. The Raiders don't have the best offensive line. And they was able to, they had some games where they put up points. Put up 63 points on the Chargers. So I think if you're going to go with a defensive coach, it needs to be somebody that's young. Okay, it has to be, y'all. It has to be somebody that's young. Like, seriously. Because if not, and it has to be somebody that also has fresh ideas, which I think Mike McDonald and Antonio Pierce, though, just seeing the way they coach, I think both of them, if we were to hire either one of them, I think we would still be okay. But, y'all, I really, really want us to go an offensive coach. And, again, like I said about 10 minutes ago, y'all better start getting real acquainted with Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. Because y'all going to hear me say on this channel until whoever we decide to be our head coach. But until that day comes, y'all going to hear me beat on the table, man, banging my chest for Ben Johnson. That is who I want to be the next head coach. Because at the end of the day, y'all, we're trying to transition, right? That's what Miss Amy talked about. We're trying to transition from an old school team, a ground and pound team, a run first team, to a passing team, to an explosive team, to a team that can score points. We can still run the ball, right? We can still run the football, but that doesn't mean it has to be our identity. That has to be our bread and butter. That doesn't mean, y'all, well, all we got to do, okay, we got to run the ball, then we can pass the ball. Because that's what it was Mike. That was Mike's philosophy. Well, we got to run first, then we can pass the ball. No. Man, it's time. Let's be fun, y'all. Let's be fun. Let's be exciting for once. Man, because I feel like y'all, man, my team, we have always been, tough, physical, bunch of gritty guys. And that's cool. But y'all, I'm ready to have fun. I'm ready to have fun. It's okay to be tough. It's okay to be gritty, nasty, physical, all that stuff. But it's just like that's all we've been. Since this team has been in Nashville, y'all, that's all we've been. And that worked for back in the day, right? Back in the day, that worked. But nowadays, you got to have more than just that. It ain't about how tough you are. You got to have more than that. Way more than that. Y'all, what they call Nashville, man? It's Music City, y'all. And granted, because it's Nashville, Tennessee, we ain't never going to be known for football, obviously. This always going to be Music City town. I understand that. But dang, man, let's put a product on that field that us as fans can be excited about. That coming into the year, man, we feel like we got a chance to compete for championships. Miss Amy said that. I don't care about, let's win 9 games, let's win 10 games, let's win 11 games, y'all. I don't care about that because we've done that before. Like Miss Amy said, it's time to year in and year out compete for championships. As I said about 20 minutes ago, Rand Carthon, his first press conference that he ever did, he said that the goal is to be hosting parades in downtown Nashville. And that's what we're going to do, man. It's time to do that, okay? And I just wanted to, it's time to start hosting several parades in downtown Nashville because we just won the Super Bowl. So us as fans, y'all, we got to get to that point, right? You feel me? We got to get to that point. Let's quit just being okay with just being okay, being good. Let's get to that point. We ready to be elite. Like Miss Amy said, it's time to be elite. Do you think that there's anybody else the Titans need to get rid of, whether it's staff or players? Yes. Yes. I would say staff-wise, well, now that Mike is fired, I don't know how many of these guys will actually be on the staff. I will say this. We definitely need new offensive coordinators, a new offensive coordinator, and probably even a new defensive coordinator. I mean, Shane Bowen, here's the thing, man. Shane Bowen, our defensive coordinator, is he bad? No. But, dude, why do you play your corners and man cover so much? Y'all, our corners are so freaking bad. We don't have a lockdown corner. Sean Murphy-Bunting, okay, he was solid this year. Now, he did have too many penalties. He was solid. Roger McCray was solid in the slot. Christian Fuller was bad. But yet we played so much man coverage. Like, why are we leaving them one-on-one like this? Right? And then it seems like, man, every time we went to zone coverage, y'all, remember when we played against the Browns week 3? And I don't know what in the world happened, but Christian Fuller and Amani Hooker, they did not communicate with each other. Amari Cooper had a long, like 40-some yard touchdown. He was wide open. You remember just was it like 3-4 weeks ago, we played against the Colts? And Alec Pierce, the old time man, he just had a wide open. It's like Amani Hooker was supposed to be back there to help Sean Murphy-Bunting, but he didn't. And Alec Pierce had a wide open route. Got all the way down to the 1 yard line. Obviously, they won the game. So I would say, yes, we need a new offensive, defensive coordinator. Need a new strength and conditioning coach because, my goodness, our strength and conditioning has to be like the worst in the league. So many players constantly getting injured, man. The last 3 years, y'all, we have used more players than any other team. I think this year we used like 83 players or something like that. Last on Sunday when we played, we had 9 starters out on defense. 9 starters out on defense. That's not good. So we definitely need, again, new OC, new DC, new strength and conditioning coach, new O-line coach. And player-wise, I mean, player-wise, I would say the guys that are free agents, I don't think any of them going to be brought back, and obviously we all know the big one that everyone wants to know about, Derrick Henry. Here's the thing, man, and then I got to move on because I got to talk about the Seahawks, Pete Carroll, and then Nick Saban. But here's the thing with Derrick Henry, man. Even if we bring Derrick Henry back, y'all, Tajay Spears should be the starter, one, okay? Or at least Tajay's, it should be like 60-40. Like, Tajay should get 60% of the snaps. Henry should get 40% of the snaps. And even if we bring him back, we need to progress our young quarterback, period, okay? So that's what I have to say about that. Even if we bring Derrick Henry back, y'all, we got to progress Will Levis so we can become a throwing team. Okay, we can still run the ball, but y'all, it's time for us to put points on that board. So even if we bring Derrick Henry back, just know this offense needs to look a whole lot different. And we're not going to see him have the games and the stats that he put up. And that's a good thing because we need to become a more balanced, dynamic offense. Now when we run first. Now I don't want that, man. Them days is over. So yes, I do think there are plenty of people to get rid of. Again, when you've gone 13-21 in your last 34 games, you gone 6-18 in your last 24 games. Obviously, changes need to be made all across the board because you cannot continue to do the same thing and expect different results. So, yes, changes do need to be made. Yeah, LOL is very unfortunate as a fan to go into the game expecting your team to lose. I mean, yeah, and this year, I tried to tell people this team is not good, man. My preseason prediction was that we were gonna go 7-10, and we went 6-11. So I knew it, man. I knew this team we're not good, right? I said before the season we should have traded Tannehill, we should have traded Henry, right? We should have, and I like the Nico Autry. I really do kind of want to bring him back, but I was like, we should have traded Nico Autry. We should have traded all the veteran players, but everyone was like, no, Isaiah, let's not do that. We're trying to compete. Remember, like, what the hell we competing for what? We're not better than the Chiefs. We're not on the same level as the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Dolphins. That you talk about competing, we're not competing for nothing. We're not even the best team in our division. But hey, we didn't want to do that. We thought we could win. And look what happened. We failed, right? We failed. So our plan going into the season was to win. We failed. Again, I saw it coming, but a lot of fans didn't see it coming. I saw this coming. So before I get ready to move on to talk about Nick Saban, final thoughts about Mike, his tenure. Again, appreciate everything he did for us, man. But we maxed out with him. It was time to move on. We weren't going to ever, I don't think we, under him, I don't think we ever going to get back to the AFC Championship game. And I definitely don't think we were ever going to reach the Super Bowl, which is the ultimate goal. At the end of the day, y'all, let me just say this. The goal is what? Is to compete and go to and hopefully win championships. I just feel like, man, some fans, some of our fans, y'all, we're complacent. Not me. I'm not complacent. I'm always have high expectations. I don't care. But I do feel like some fans, when it comes to the Tennessee Titans fan base, they're very complacent. They're okay with just being okay. They're okay with just being good. I'm not. Because when we do win our first Super Bowl, I'm going to be like, all right, it's time to win 2, 3, 4. Like, that's how it is. You don't get to live on stuff for too long, man. Y'all, this is the NFL and the NBA the same way. It's a business. A billion dollar business. And us as fans, y'all put a lot of money into these teams, a lot of money into these franchises, these organizations. Buying tickets, buying merchandise, buying jerseys, okay? Buying food and drinks and beverages from the concession stands. We put a lot of money into these franchises. So we should expect a competitive team out there, a team that can compete and go to and win championships with an S, y'all. Not a championship, championships. Like I said, last year Rand, his opening press conference, he said the goal is to be hosting parades in Nashville, in downtown Nashville. And that's the ultimate goal right there. Y'all, that's the goal. For us to be hosting, not one, as LeBron said, not one, not two, not three, not four. Hopefully, man, we can host as many parades as we can because we would be celebrating a Super Bowl championship. All right, that's enough talking about my team. Let's get into the greatest college football coach of all time. And arguably, to make this a little bit bigger for y'all, man, arguably, maybe the greatest coach in sports ever, Nick Saban. So, y'all, we got a bombshell. Nick Saban, considered among the greatest college football coaches of all time, who won 6 national titles at Alabama, is retiring. Sources told ESPN's Chris Lowe on Wednesday. Saban, 72, just completed his 17th season at Alabama, which ended in a loss to eventual national champion Michigan in the Rose Bowl. I've always said if you're thinking about retirement, you're probably already retired, and I'm not there yet. Saban told ESPN in November, and y'all, wow, I did not see this coming. Nick Saban, again, the greatest coach in college football, arguably maybe the greatest coach in sports history. I did not see this coming. I think Nick Saban, man, to me, I feel like he still has a lot left to give. I think he's still passionate. I mean, y'all, I just saw him last week when they were playing against Michigan. He's still passionate. Granted, I know he's 72. He's been coaching for a long time, man. And I know the toll that will take on you physically and mentally. And especially, like I said, Nick Saban is getting older now. He's not getting any younger. He's getting older. But I feel like he still had another 3 to 5 years to give us. But I do think Nick Saban understood that, man, this is becoming a young man's game. These coaches are getting a whole lot younger. Y'all know it's a trend, man. This is not just in the NFL. The NBA is like that too. These coaches are getting a whole lot younger. Like a whole lot younger. The game is evolving. It's ever so changing. It's growing at a rapid pace. And so I respect his decision. I think Nick Saban realizes that, hey, I still have a lot left in my tank. I feel like he does. I feel like he at least could have given us another 3 to 5 years. But I respect Nick Saban for knowing, hey, I've done my part for the game. It's time for me to give it up. It's time for me to let a young gun go in here and carry this mantle. I also think Nick Saban saw, man, that now with the transfer portal, Alabama is no longer like the big dog of college football that they used to be. Now, I mean, y'all look at Michigan, right? Look at Florida State this year. Obviously, you got Georgia. I mean, Georgia is the best team in the SEC. Alabama's not even the best team, and they're on conference anymore. The Georgia Bulldogs are the best team. So you look at the transfer portal now, y'all. You know, teams, these universities are really, really taking advantage of it. Nick Saban realizes that. He realizes that, hey, it's only going to get harder for me to continue to do this. It's only going to get harder for us as a team to continue to compete for national championships. Obviously, y'all know that's the only thing Alabama cares about is winning it. He knows it's only getting harder, and it is. Because, you know, you just look 5-10 years ago, y'all. It was Alabama, Ohio State, you know, Oregon. But now you got Georgia. You got Florida State is back to what they used to be. Michigan is back to where they were in the 90s. Then you got other teams that's up and coming, man, like Missouri, LSU. You look at this year, man, obviously you got Oklahoma and Texas coming into the SEC this year. That's going to make the SEC even more competitive. Speaking of Texas, you look at the year that they had, Washington. And Washington had been good for a number of years under former head coach Chris Peterson. But again, y'all, these teams are getting better because when you have the transfer portal at your disposal, the way these coaches and universities have now, it's easy to make your team very competitive really, 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 really fast. And so because of that reason, I feel like now, y'all, moving forward in college football and basketball, you're no longer going to see that one dominant team. Because now, due to the transfer portal, so many of these teams can't compete with you. And like I said a few minutes ago, Alabama is no longer the big dog. They're not even the best team in their conference. They're not the best team in the nation. I think Georgia has passed them. Michigan has passed them. I think Florida State is going to pass them. Y'all know I really like Florida State. Mike Norvell, head coach. So, y'all, it's not what it used to be. I think Alabama obviously still a great program, but I'm saying they're no longer the only dominant team. Like y'all know, Alabama had a period, man. They were just dominating teams, y'all. Dominating teams. And you knew going to the season, okay, it's basically Alabama, everybody else. But now you got Michigan, you got Ohio State, you got Florida State, you got LSU, you got Texas. I think Oklahoma's going to keep getting better. Then you got these other teams, y'all, like a Kansas State. You know, you got Louisville, you got NC State. You have so many teams, y'all, that can compete. You also have sneaky teams. like a Ole Miss, like a Penn State. Then who knows? Maybe one of them can finally come from being a good team to being a great team. And so Nick Saban, I think, saw, man, I'm getting older. This game is evolving. It's getting younger. These coaches are getting younger. And we really cannot. Alabama can still compete, but it's a whole lot harder for them, y'all, to win national championships than what it was, say, heck, even just 5 years ago. Totally different now. It's gonna be a lot of parity in college sports. Like I said, I don't think you will never see a team be dominant the way Alabama was for so many years, man. I mean, my goodness, y'all. When Alabama had Julio Jones, A.J. McCarron, T.J. Yeldon, Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, Calvin Ridley. Man. And they still have great recruits like that, but I'm saying now these other universities have amazing recruits as well. It's no longer just Bama. Chance Warmack, Amari Cooper, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. Come on, y'all know y'all remember some of these players. Man, I know I ain't the only one that remembers these guys. Minka Fitzpatrick, Quentin Williams. Man. Jedrick Wills Jr. All them guys are just listed, man. Y'all, they all Americans right there. All American players right there who I just listed. But, man, just want to say Nick Saban, man, heck of a career, man. Think the greatest coach. We'll go over his career achievements right now, man. I think he's the greatest coach, y'all, in college football. Arguably the greatest coach ever. Man, you talk about 297, 71-1 career record, 7 national championships, 11 SEC championships, 1 MAC championship, 5-time SEC Coach of the Year, 2-time Paul Bear Bryant Award winner, and a 2-time Walter Camp Coach of the Year. I mean, y'all, his resume is impeccable. Meant a lot to the game. I think he just meant a lot to sports, honestly. His approach, man, his competitive nature. He was a coach, you know. Nick Saban never held his tongue. He was going to keep it all the way 100 with you. And I think players respected that. You know, I remember a few years ago, Julio Jones had done an interview. He was saying that people always ask him, like, how is it, you know, playing for a Coach Saban? And he said, man, he expects a lot out of you. He's going to keep it real with you. He's going to hold you accountable. And that you're not too big to get called out. You're not too big to get criticized. And Julio said that's what he really respected. I've seen Nick Saban go, man, y'all, you talking about throughout his whole career, this man had, I mean, literally, he's had some guys go in the NFL that's going to be Hall of Famers one day. Right? And he still, I saw him yell at Julio. I've seen him yell at Amari Cooper, at Devontae Smith, at Jalen Waddle, at Jerry Jeudy. Right? He at Tua. He did it with all these guys. He was never gonna hold his tongue. Now, if you thought Nick Saban was gonna do, he was never gonna do that. I saw him yell at Marlon Humphrey. I saw him yell at Eddie Jackson. These are all guys that have gone to become, like I said, Pro Bowl, All-Pro / future Hall of Fame players. Because Nick Saban was just that kind of coach. Man, heck of a career coach. Much respect to you, man. Enjoy your retirement with your wife. Man, y'all, let's give it up, man. Let's give it up for Nick Saban. Yeah, man. What a great career. I saw Deion, Coach Prime Sanders, tweeted out when he found the news. I think he said something along the lines of, he didn't think that Coach Saban would call it quits this soon. Neither did I. But like I said, man, I gave y'all reasons as to why I think he made this decision. And again, I can respect it. I can respect when a person knows, hey, it's time for me to give it up. It's time for me to let a young voice come in here, carry the mantle. I can respect it. I really can. I respect that from Nick Saban, man. Much respect to him. He realized, hey, this game is different now. You don't really see too many old coaches coaching any longer. It is becoming a young man's game. It really is. And he knew, hey, man, I've done everything I need to do. I ain't got anything else left to prove. My resume speaks for itself. I'm arguably the GOAT, man. Arguably, right? I think in terms of college football wise, I really think it's him, and may he rest in peace, Paul Bear Bryant, right? It's the two greatest coaches in college football history. And then overall, I mean, Nick Saban is one of the best coaches ever, y'all. I mean, seriously, that's why I said he's arguably the greatest coach of all time. Not just in college football, but of all time. Because, gosh, man, look at this resume, y'all. To only lose 71 games, and this guy been coaching since what? He's been a head coach since 1990 when he was coaching Toledo way back in the day, before a lot of us was even born. Only 71 losses. Wow, man, heck of a career coach. And enjoy your retirement, man. Ooh, y'all, man, been going live, dang, for almost an hour, 17 minutes. I want to say again, man, hello to everyone watching from Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Hope all is well. Hope y'all are having a good day. Hope y'all had a good day. Hope you're having a great night. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Zay Moolah Sports live stream, man. Talked about the Titans firing Mike Vrabel, what led to his firing. Gave y'all potential candidates. Gave y'all my favorite candidate, Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. And now we just discussed Nick Saban announcing his retirement. And then finally, y'all, before I get up out of here, I had to talk about one of my favorite NFL coaches getting pushed out of the door. Getting pushed out of the door? Ooh. Let's talk about it, y'all. So, Pete Carroll. Let me zoom in for y'all so y'all can see, so we can read this together. After 14 seasons, 10 playoff appearances, and the franchise's lone Super Bowl championship, Pete Carroll is out as a Seattle Seahawks coach. Team owner Jody Allen said in a statement Wednesday the decision was made after thoughtful meetings and careful consideration for the best interest of the franchise. Carroll will remain with the team in the unspecified advisory role. In an emotional farewell news press conference Wednesday, Carroll, reading from a prepared statement, said he and ownership have mutually agreed to set a new course. However, he said he competed pretty hard to remain Seattle's coach and that he ultimately went along with their intention. Carroll said his comments after the Seahawks season finale that he wanted to continue coaching were true to the bone. Whoa. What is going on in Seattle? Let me say this. Y'all, I get it. Okay, Pete Carroll, he's 72. I understand it. He's 72 years old. Kind of like Nick Saban. They've been going this thing for a long time. But to pretty much force him out as your head coach after this man has done so much for your franchise. I mean, y'all, you would think they would have more respect for Pete Carroll than this, right? You're talking about a man, and we're going to get into his career achievements with the Seahawks here in a minute. But you're talking about a man, y'all, that he inherited the Seattle Seahawks team that was one of the worst in the league. He inherited a team that really didn't have any star players. And he turned the Seahawks, y'all. He turned the Seahawks into a Super Bowl contender. He turned the Seahawks into, for a period of time, the best defense in the league. Mind y'all, he was doing this a lot of times. He didn't have great offenses, really. And some people will say, well, that's his fault because Pete Carroll likes to run the ball, but he didn't have great offense. It's not like he really had great receivers. Like, look, I like Jermaine Kearse. I like Doug Baldwin. They two good brothers. I like them. I respect them a lot as men. They were two good NFL wide receivers. But y'all, Doug Baldwin and Jermaine Kearse, they weren't ever seen as some of the best receivers in the league, right? He was doing it with them. Granted, he did have a great run game. He had my man, Marshawn Lynch, beast mode, man. One of the best running backs of the 2010s. But y'all, he won a Super Bowl with Russell Wilson. And this is before Russ became like the Russell Wilson that we all would grow to love. This one, Russell Wilson was still he was a baby still, right? He was still a baby. He was a baby. Won the Super Bowl. And this is how you gonna treat him? You can't have more respect. I'm really mad. And listen, y'all, let me say this. I think the Seattle Seahawks for the last 10 plus years have been one of the best organizations in football. I think, man, their ownership, their management, they're very classy. They do a lot of great work, man. The organization does a lot of great work in that community. But I'm really, 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 really disappointed about how they handle Pete Carroll. Because to force this man to be out as head coach when he did so much for y'all, so much for the organization, and y'all treat him like that. And here's the thing, y'all. Let's read it again. Carroll, reading from a prepared statement, said he and ownership have mutually agreed to set a new course. However, he said he competed pretty hard to remain Seattle's coach, and he ultimately went along with their intentions. Y'all, for all my older people out there that's watching this, I want y'all to talk to me. When y'all were growing up, you ever, mama, grandma, auntie, uncle made you go to church, but you didn't really want to go, but you knew you had to go? Because if you didn't, you knew that darn belt or that darn switch was going to be waiting on you. So you just went along with it, even though you really didn't want to go. Come on, man. Y'all talk back to me, man. I know I got some older people, too. I know everybody, all my subscribers, all my views ain't just young. Y'all talk back to me. Okay, I know some of y'all probably went through that growing up. You didn't want to go to church. You didn't want to go to Bible study. Right, but you had to because you knew what was waiting at home. Pete Carroll did not want to move to some, as they call, advisory role. He wanted to remain the head coach, but he knew if he didn't, that he probably was going to be out of a job altogether. At least now, he's still a part of the organization, right? But he's no longer the head man in charge. Had Pete Carroll not caved in, y'all, do we think he even is going to have a quote-unquote advisory role? Because I don't think he is. I think Pete Carroll would like literally be without a job in general right now. But he isn't. Why? Because he just went along with it. But if he really want to do it, heck no. Y'all, he said, this is his words. He competed pretty hard to remain Seattle's coach. And that he ultimately went along with their intentions. He did that because he didn't have a choice. He did that. Just say, okay, I'll go along with y'all. I want to make y'all happy. But, man, he ain't really do that because he wanted to do it. Right? Come on, y'all. He didn't do that because he wanted to do it. Pete Carroll did not have he did not have a choice. Y'all, I hate this, man. I really do. Because Pete Carroll is one of my favorite coaches. One of my favorite coaches in the league. The energy that he brings for a man that's 72 years old, man, you can't tell. You can't tell that he's 72, can you? I mean, y'all, he just brings great energy. Great energy. He's a player's coach. And while, yes, he's old school, he has had some teams, though, that's had some pretty darn good offenses, though. And I like that. So, I just don't understand this, man. I really don't. I don't get it. And I'm really pissed off. You would think I was Seahawks fan because I'm pissed off about this. I really am. I don't get this at all, man. I don't understand this, y'all. I don't get this. Somebody talk to me. I don't get this. Thank you. Another great live. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is actually the longest I've ever been live for because it was a lot. Y'all saw my post yesterday that I put on YouTube. I was going live tonight. Gonna talk about Mike Vrabel, but then we had to change the plans because the Seahawks decided they wanted to get rid of Pete Carroll, and Nick Saban decided he wanted to retire. So I was like, man, we gotta talk about that. In addition to talking about my Tennessee Titans. But yeah, I'm just very disappointed by the Seattle Seahawks. And man, I cannot believe this, y'all. Cannot believe this. Because I always thought Pete Carroll was going to get to go out on his terms. But the fact that he was forced out, he was pushed out the door. And now, which is honestly disrespectful, he's going to have to watch as another team coaches his team that he still wants to be the head coach of. Y'all, if you just heard Pete Carroll the other day, the man said, he said, I'm not tired. I'm not exhausted. I still want to coach. But now he's going to have to watch. He can no longer do that, y'all. Pete Carroll can't even do that. And he's going to have to sit back and watch as an advisor or whatever they want to call it. I don't even, in an advisory, okay, advisor role. Yeah, right. Come on, man. Y'all really going to disrespect the best coach y'all ever had? Y'all gonna disrespect him like that? Don't get that. Don't get that. Wow. So, y'all, let's get into it. This part of the articles, we got more, y'all. We got more. We got more. So, y'all buckle y'all seatbelts. We got more. Let me zoom in for y'all. We got more. Let me zoom in a little bit more so y'all can see. We got more. We got more. We ain't done yet. Carroll's assistant coaches have been given permission to look for jobs elsewhere, a source told ESPN. Pete is the winningest coach in Seahawks history, brought the city its first Super Bowl title, and created a tremendous impact over the past 14 years on the field and in the community, Allen said. His expertise in leadership and building a championship culture will continue as an integral part of our organization moving forward. The Seahawks, and I think the job is his already. The Seahawks are expected to be interested in, among others, Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Campbell, Lord Jesus, Dan Quinn. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Quinn served as a Seahawks assistant from 2009 to 2010 and was their defensive coordinator from 2013 to 2014. The role change comes after Carroll said in his post-game news conference Sunday and reiterated Monday in a radio interview that he intended to return as Seahawks coach for the 2024 season. I plan to be coaching the team, Carroll told Seattle Sports 7:10 a.m. I told you that I love the guys, and that's what I would like to be doing and see how far I can go. I'm not worn out. I'm not tired. I'm not any of that stuff. I need to do a better job, and I need to help my coaches more. We need to do a better job of coaching, and there's a lot of area for improvement. Wow, there was a lot to unpack, y'all. Pete Carroll said, I'm not worn out. I'm not tired. Told y'all, he still got a lot left in his tank. Yeah, people going to point out his age. But y'all, that tank ain't empty yet. It might be, okay, it's starting to get close to E, but it's not there yet. Man, I just really think, y'all, this is a big slap in the face to him. It really is. And the fact that Jody Allen's going to say his expertise in leadership and building a championship culture will continue as an integral part of our organization moving forward. Yeah, he's going to be watching, as I just stated a few minutes ago, he's going to be watching a new head coach come in and become the head coach of a team that he still wanted to be the head coach of. So isn't that nice, man? Really? Isn't that a big slap in the face to the best coach I've ever had? Come on, Seahawks. Man. I really expect more from y'all. I really do. Very disappointed. And Seahawks fans, woo, hey, I get it. 72 years old. Maybe you felt like, hey, time for us to get a young gun up in here, right? Get some young blood up in here. But come on, man. Still, though, this is y'all's best coach in franchise history. And you treat him like this. I tell you right now, man, it's going to be very hard to find another Pete Carroll. He is definitely one of one. Okay, we know all the great success he had at college at USC. We've seen all the success he had at the National Football League level. Man. Again, energy. You know, Pete Carroll teams, man, they all going to be tough defensively. They always going to be hard-hitting. Great secondaries, obviously Richard Sherman. You know, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, Cliff Averill, Brandon Mebane. Now, they was always going to be tough, man. On defense, on offense, they was going to run that ball with Marshawn Lynch. They were going to play action it, you know, get it to their receivers. Obviously, as the years progress, they got better receivers. Now they got DK Metcalf. They got a trio, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Now they still got a great young running back, Kenneth Walker. I like Geno Smith. I do think they need a long-term solution at quarterback. But defensively, man, you got Devin Witherspoon at corner, Tariq Woolen at the other corner spot, Kobe Bryant at slot corner. You got Julian Love at safety, Quandre Diggs, even though he had a down year this year, Jamal Adams, even though he continues to struggle. But it's a team, man, that still has a lot of talent. I think Dan Quinn will ultimately get this job. I think it's really his to lose. Just because, one, the familiarity is there, and then two, Dan Campbell is a defensive-minded coach, and, Pete Carroll was a defensive-minded coach, and I think the Seahawks, for their transition, I think they wanted to kind of keep it new for the players, right? Or excuse me, they wanted to keep it old for the players, I should say, by hiring a guy that comes from, obviously, he comes from Pete Carroll's up branch. He comes from his tree, and, yeah. Wild times for football, man, bro. You were right, man. Definitely wild times, brother. God, so much, man, so much. Welcome to the live stream, brother. Don't know you, but man, welcome to the live stream. But yeah, man, so much been going on. I don't know when you got in here, but I touched on my Titans. I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. Touched on my Titans, man. Us firing Mike Vrabel. What went into that decision? I went into potential candidates. I gave my favorite candidate, which is Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. I also talked about Nick Saban retiring, then now had discussed Pete Carroll getting pushed out the door by the Seattle Seahawks. But yeah. I guess it gives you content. New subscriber, by the way. Stream popped on my record. Hey, man, welcome to the family, y'all. Let's welcome my man Christian Russell to the family, man. Welcome, brother. Hey, man, appreciate you, man. Welcome to the family. Yeah, we have fun over here. We have a lot of fun over here, and we put out great content. Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm a big Titans fan. My favorite NBA team is the Lakers, and my favorite NFL team, like I said, is the Titans. But obviously, I watch all the teams. I know about all the teams, man. And yeah, just like you said, it's a wild time for football. Dang, man, it's so much stuff that is happening that I did not see happening, but it has happened. And hey, I guess it's sports, and sports is always unpredictable. But wow, Nick Saban retiring, Pete Carroll getting pushed out the door all in one day. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. Oh, you're a Panthers fan. Okay, man. I talked about y'all yesterday. Yeah, I talked about y'all yesterday when I was doing my NFL Black Monday firings video, and I talked about y'all fired your general manager, Scott Fitterer. I talked about, man, all the misses that he's had, man. My goodness, boy. So you a Panthers fan, and I'm a Titans fan. We kind of in the same boat, even though, my Titans were in a better spot than y'all are. But dang, man, I really feel bad for y'all. I feel bad for y'all because, boy, the Panthers, yeah, it's been bad for y'all, man. Y'all haven't made the playoffs since 2017. You've been through so many quarterbacks, so many coaches. My goodness, man. Then you got an owner who's freaking crazy. Man, what the heck is David Tepper's problem? Throwing the drink on the fan? Bruh, are you kidding me, dog? Throwing the drink on the fan, bruh. Dude, you cannot do that. He said, I missed 2015, man. Oh, they give it special, y'all. You had Cam Newton, a.k.a. Super Cam. Dang, man. Jonathan Stewart in the backfield. Ted Ginn Jr., wide receiver. That's when Josh Norman was one of the best corners in the league. Him and Odell had their little scuffle that year. Yeah, man. 2015 was a special time for y'all. I remember y'all came to play my Titans, and Cam Newton, man, he was dancing on us and all that stuff. And he had dabbed on us. And I remember Avery Williamson, who was our linebacker at the time, he had got mad. He tried to push Cam Newton. And Cam, he did it again. Yeah, I remember y'all whooped us bad that day, man. 27-10. But yeah, 2015 was a time to be a Panthers fan, man. It was definitely a time to be a Panthers fan. Oh yeah, that defense was nasty. Now that defense was real nasty. Yeah, that defense was nasty. Josh Norman, Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly. Woo! Man, that defense, man. Lord, that Panthers defense was crazy. And then, like I said, offensively, you had Cam Newton. That's when he was at his best. Jonathan Stewart, Ted Ginn Jr. Yeah, that defense, man. Y'all, that year, I really thought y'all were gonna beat the Broncos in that Super Bowl. I really did, and I want y'all to win the game too. I really did, but yeah, man, that team right there. My goodness, man. Y'all had Kawan Short, the defensive tackle. Yeah, y'all were loaded that year, man. Y'all really were. Y'all were loaded that year. Greg Olsen. With that at the time, man, Greg Olsen was like a top 3 tight end in the league. Yeah. Y'all were doing y'all's thing for sure. No doubt. But yeah, welcome, man. Appreciate you being here, brother. Welcome to the family. He said Kelvin Benjamin. Oh, yeah, I remember Kelvin Benjamin, man. He ate himself out of football, didn't he? he ate himself out of the league. Kelvin Benjamin ate himself out of the league. Come on. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that, man. Yes, sir. Respect, my brother, man. Respect. Let's see here. But yes, so y'all, Pete Carroll, his Seahawks tenure, 137, 89-1 record, 10-9 playoff record, 2 NFC championship game wins, 2 Super Bowl appearances, a Super Bowl win in 2014, 10 playoff appearances, 5 division titles, 8 10-win seasons, and only 3 losing records. I mean, again, y'all, it's just gonna be hard. Seahawks, it's gonna be hard for y'all to find a coach like Pete Carroll. Like I said a few minutes ago, he is truly one of one. You will not find another coach like him. His approach to the game, the swagger that he had. Like I said, man, earlier, that all the energy that he brought, y'all, you're just not gonna see that again. So Seahawks, I get it. Y'all feel like, hey, the NFL is getting younger. These coaches are getting younger. They're getting more creative. They're getting more innovative. I understand that. But just realize, y'all, the grass is not always greener on the other side. Because sometimes that grass is brown. Y'all feel me? Sometimes that grass is real brown on the other side. So don't think, Seahawks, that y'all gonna start having all this success that you had with Pete Carroll just because we bring in a young coach. Because some of these young coaches have been fools, man. They've been clowns. Look at Cliff Kingsbury. Look at Joe Judge. So don't just always think, man, that because you get a young coach, that means everything's gonna be okay. Pete Carroll was a special coach. And yeah, while you can say, well, he's outdated because he's been coaching for so many years, yeah. Okay, yeah, his schemes, his philosophy, yeah, it probably is outdated. But all I know is this. This man in 2022 won 9 games with Geno Smith as his quarterback. And then this year he won 9 games with Geno Smith and Drew Lock as his quarterback. So that's all I know. Right? And he went to the Super Bowl and won it when Russell Wilson was still a baby at that point. This was not the Russell Wilson that was an MVP candidate. This was not Russell Wilson, y'all. That was like a top 10 quarterback. This was not this Russell Wilson. So come on. Let's give him some respect now. As Birdman said, put some respect on my name. Ain't that what Birdman said? Put some respect on the man's name. Put some respect on his accomplishments. So Seahawks, I don't know. I hope this works out for y'all. But, hey, I would not count on it. I wouldn't do it. I would not count on it. Man, just want to say, Thank you. Whew, let me take a deep breath, y'all. I've been going on for an hour and 45 minutes now, but just want to say thank you to everyone that tuned in tonight, man. Want to give a special shout out to our new brother that joined the family, man, Christian Russell. Appreciate you, man. Like I said, brother, we have a lot of fun over here. We just, give you sports takes and just try to have fun with it. So once again, welcome to the family, man. Happy to have you a part of Zabula Sports Podcast family, because y'all really are my family, man. Once you join over here, we are family for sure. And ain't nothing you can do about that. But yeah, once again, thank you to everyone that tuned in tonight to the live stream. Had a lot of fun. This is the longest live we ever had. So, man, if y'all like me going live, just tell me, man. I read comments, so I read y'all comments. I take y'all's advice. So if y'all want me to go live more, I will. I definitely will tell you this. Whenever the Titans, when we decide who our next coach will be, I will go live that day. So if it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, I definitely go live that day. I definitely know this is kind of looking a little bit to the future, but during free agency, I want to go live. Because y'all, I'm hoping in my Titans, we got a lot of action during free agency. So I definitely will go live during then. But yeah, if y'all want me to go live more, man, just tell me. Obviously with the lives, it's a little bit different because I gotta plan that more in advance. So when y'all seeing all this stuff that y'all seen tonight, it's because it took me maybe like a day or two to plan all this stuff and all that. So yes, if y'all want to see me go live, just let me know so I can just plan it in advance. Because obviously when I do my videos, I have more time to plan it. So if y'all want to see me go live more, just tell me so I can plan out. Tell me, man, if y'all like my new setup. As y'all see, we trying to elevate, man. So I hope y'all like my new setup. Just again, man, before I get out here, just want to thank God, man. God is so good, y'all, man. Can we acknowledge God on tonight? Man, God is so good, y'all. We've already had a great year. I think my man Christian, man, I think that makes maybe 5 or 6 subscribers we already had since the beginning, since this year came in. My Jaden Daniels video, man, we got the last time I checked, I think that was like a 415 views. I mean, y'all, man, God is a great guy, y'all. He's greatly to be praised. And wow, I cannot believe, man, how far we've come. But as I always say, man, if you trust God, He would definitely give you desires of your heart. I really believe that. And so yeah, I'm really, I can't believe this, y'all. I really can't believe it. Where we are now, just what we've already accomplished this year so far, and this is literally the 10th day of this year. And like I said, I think he now makes like 5 or 6 subscribers that I've already had, getting over 400 views on the video. I did not know when that day was gonna come, but man, it's here. Man, wow, it's just crazy, y'all. It really is. The setup looks great. Thank you. Made a lot of progress since the first video. Yeah, we did. If y'all remember my first video, I didn't have none of this, y'all. None of this, literally. I did not have any. I didn't have, as y'all see, going down your screen right now, going across the screen. Excuse me. That's called a ticker. I didn't have that. I didn't. I did not have an intro. As y'all see now, man, I got an intro video with my name on it, welcoming y'all to my channel. I also got an outro video with my name on it, right? So let's also thank God for that. Come on, y'all. So yes, thank you. We have made a lot of progress since the first video, y'all. I have really been working behind the scenes, and just trying to make this as best as I possibly can make it, make this channel as best as I possibly can make it, make the presentation look very, very clean. And yeah, we've definitely made a lot of progress, man. A lot of progress. Man, that's just, again, that's all God, man. That really is. It's God, y'all. That's who it is, and just gotta really just give him a lot of praise, give him a lot of glory. And yeah, I mean, we have made a lot of progress since September. I can't even remember what day it was, but since that day, yeah, I have made a lot of progress, and so I like where we're headed, y'all. I really do. I like where we're going. I know this is only the beginning. I mean, look at the progress. Look at how far we've already come this year, and already gaining as many subscribers as I had. Having a video get over 400 views, y'all. I mean, I did not see that coming, but again, man, like God is good, and man, if you trust Him, He'll give you whatever you want. The Bible says, "Ask and you shall receive," and that's all I did. Just ask God, like, God, let's grow this channel. And man, He's doing it, and we seeing it play out. So just very thankful, man. Appreciative, y'all. Yeah, just very appreciative. And yeah, man, excited for what is to come. Once again, man, thank y'all for joining the live stream, listening to me rant a little bit about my Titans at the beginning, and then also kind of calm down and talk about Nick Saban retirement, Pete Carroll being pushed out of the door by the Seattle Seahawks. Man, if y'all enjoyed this live stream, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Y'all know I'm going to end it, man. I love y'all. God bless. Y'all say it with me. Peace.